What's going on, guys? My name is Jake Suvak, and today I am going to take you on a walkthrough of the Vibe Shearwater125. Before we get started, I'm in South Carolina, and it apparently decided to snow for the first time since I've lived here on the day I wanted to shoot this video. So we got that fun effect going on with us. Anyways, I have had the Vibe Shearwater125 since 2020 when it first came out, and I've loved this boat. It's been awesome. There's endless customization options. There's endless rigging options. There's so much stuff that you can do with it. And, I started out as simple as possible. I got it with the pedal drive, and slowly built up. I added the motor. I started adding some electronics. I got a, upgraded fish finder and then a second screen and then the forward facing sonar, the Lowrance 0.1 at one point. So, I've got a lot going on in this boat, and it's something that I never thought that I'd have, especially when I started. I started in a 9-foot sit on top kayak with 2 rod holders and the good old fashioned milk crate. I would only go out with 2 rods, and now, as you can see, got more rods than I know what to do with. So this whole adventure, kayak fishing adventure, has been awesome for me. It's been a lot of fun, just as a hobby and as something to look forward to every time it's not looking like this outside. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll start showing you some of the fun stuff, some of the cool stuff that I've got set up on my kayak. So I figured I'd start up at the bow. We'll work our way back through the boat. Starting up front, I've got the Motor Guide XI3 with the pinpoint GPS system. For me, especially now that I live in South Carolina, I do a lot of fishing in deeper water. This motor has made all the difference for me. I love fishing in deeper water, anything over 10 feet, oftentimes up to 20, 30 feet. Having the GPS, having that spot lock has really unlocked a way for me to fish that, especially when I first got it, not as many kayak fishermen were doing or were able to do. That's really how I got into my style of fishing, where I like to go offshore, scan around, find things to fish when, there weren't as many people that were able to do that kind of thing. Motors are a lot more common now than when I first got it. But, I've really leaned into that and stuck with what I've been doing, and move forward with the times. You got the active target, which we'll get to in a second. So now, starting to work our way back more towards the middle of the boat. This is where I think all the really fun stuff is. So like I said, I've got the 2 Lowrance HDS9 Live screens mounted up front here. These are both mounted on a captain's bridge, and something I did for catchboard storage. This is also like a really small thing that I think is awesome. I just think it's a really good way to store your catchboard. Is I just found a catchboard mount that I used somewhere else and found a way to mount it onto the captain's bridge, and that's where my catchboard stays. It's really easily accessible. It's easy to put in and out. And it stays out of the way all day when I'm fishing until I need it, and then it's right in front of me when I want to grab it. So something I want to make sure I take a second to really point out with this whole setup is a few of the products from Sniper Marine that are just going to be game changer for me this year. So first, the mount that I've got it on, the base right here, this is the Sniper holster. So this is really easy. I'm able to set it in here, move around and travel with it, holstered on the side like that, and it really easily just goes into place like that. So you can go from up to down very quickly and easily when you want to move around. Well, I guess the other product is the Sniper pole itself. So something that I love is the Sniper Marine kayak pole. It's really easy. It's got the tension knob up top, so you can turn it and keep it in place. But what I am most excited for going into 2025 is this mode shift bracket. So what this does is it's got the transducer sitting directly below. It's got the transducer sitting directly below the pole. So the arrow indicator here at the top is directly over top of it. It gives you a much better idea of where your transducer is pointing. I'm really excited to get on the water with that and use that more in a competitive setting here in 2025. It's going to be something just exciting. The other thing with the mode shift bracket is we've got the 0 degree mount. It's going to have a lot less drag in the water, but also you're going to be able to very quickly and easily shift into the scout mode or perspective mode, depending on which product line you're using. But also it's going to be, you're going to be able to change the angle at which the transducer is pointed. So if you're in really shallow water, you don't want to have too sharp of an angle. Otherwise it's going to go straight down to the ground. You're not going to be able to see much. So depending on the depth of the water, you're going to be able to adjust your angle to get the best picture, to get the best field of view with that. So I think it's going to be a really exciting tool, especially when the bass are spawning. I'm excited to use it then. Something that's a little bit of a smaller piece of equipment, but I think has been a huge addition to my kayak, are these Gear Keeper retractable tethers. So I've got one of these set up for my pliers where they don't go anywhere. I've got another one set right here. So the back of my phone case has a little clip that attaches right here. So when I'm taking pictures of my fish, it's a really light line, so it doesn't pull back too hard. You can pull up, drop your phone. It's not going to go anywhere if you do accidentally drop it. And then when you're not using it, it retracts right into itself. So I've got one for my phone, one for my pliers, and then also one for my catch board. Catch board's not one. Well, you can lock the line in place also. A ton of room for it to move around. Over here, I've got my Yak Attack box. I keep this right next to me with things that are going to be quick grab and go items for the day. But what I do really love about the Vibe Shearwater is this VersaPod that you can have right in the middle, because it's got a ton of storage just to have anything that you need loaded up, ready to go right in front of you. It's even got a little magnet right here in the middle. So like as you're digging through your tackle, as you're trying to get your setup done right, you can put hooks on there, make sure they're not getting lost, flying around, or falling overboard. When I'm out on the water, I love to keep my net set up right here, because as I'm catching a fish, it's a really easy grab and net spot. So I actually mounted my fish finders like this, so I can keep the handle propped up right in between them. So as I'm bringing that fish to the boat, I can grab it and then reach over and catch the fish. Not anything too crazy, but it's made a big difference in landing a few fish once in a while. Continuing moving down, I want to talk about the seat here for a second. So first of all, the seat cushions that I have are the kayak cushion seat covers. They are incredible. They've saved my back so much pain. Back in college, I used to get a lot of back pain while I was out fishing. And then as soon as I put a couple of these on my seat, I have spent hours and hours and hours on the water without any issues. And they really do make a huge difference once you add them to your seat. But one other thing from Vibe is the summit perch. So the back of the seat actually has a standing perch on it. So if you are looking for bedding fish, or if you are trying to get a better view, you can fold the seat down and stand on the back of your chair. Requires a lot of balance, but once you get that down, it's really not too bad. Even if you don't want to stand up on it, it's also a little more of an elevated platform where you can sit on it and still get a better view from wherever you are. So continuing to move our way back towards the back of the boat, something that is really cool about this kayak is the side storage for your 3600 boxes. I think just like any other kayak, you do get some water in your boxes. So I've really liked using the Plano Edge boxes. These 3600 boxes fit in here perfect. You can label them on the side. They pop out pretty easy and go right back in. I, for the most part, am going to, when I go out fishing, if I've got a pretty decent idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to keep most of my lures, most of my re-rigging stuff in this box, in my Yak Attack box, or in the VersaPod box up front with me. I've also got a bad habit of leaving something behind when I am 99% sure that I'm not going to need it. And then that 1% of the time that I do need it is whenever I take it out. So I also keep my black pack and one of the Plano Edge plastics boxes back here. So this stores all my plastics that I may need, but really I'm going to keep the ones that I know I'm going to use for the day up in the VersaPod. Back here in my black pack, this is the 16-inch by 13-inch box. I have 4 of the 3700 Plano Edge boxes, and then one of the one of their deeper boxes for crankbaits also. So I'll get a closer video of that so you can see that. The black pack box is perfect. It carries everything I need. It carries more than everything I need. And what I like about this, I know Yak Attack makes I think it's called the short stack. I know they make that short stack that you can put on top of the lid. But what I really like about having this this plastics box is it'll sit here, and the black pack does a good job of keeping it in place. It doesn't move around very much. It doesn't bump into the rods throughout the day. But really, I wanted something that I could just pull up to the front and dig through, which is why I like having this plastics box back there. But along with all the storage inside of the black pack, I went ahead and got the rod holders that have the hooks and the bungees on them just for safety. The black pack itself, I can put 8 rod holders on it, and then there are 4 built-in rod holders that I can get another 4 rods in. Usually I'm going to go out with anywhere from 9 to 11 rods. All of my rods are Senko sticks. It's an incredible company. I've been using their rods ever since the company started a few years ago, and it's been awesome to see them grow. And I'll be a customer for life. The Senko sticks are my favorite rods that I've ever used. Highly recommend that you check them out. Lose reels on all of my rods. Again, big fan of Lose. They just make a good reel that is it holds up, and I've just enjoyed using it. I went through a few different reel companies and I couldn't quite find something that I liked, and Lose was one that I landed on where everything just seemed good, well made, and reliable. I really haven't had any issues with them, so I've been happy with those. One thing that I went by is I do have 2 12-volt 100 amp hour batteries. They sit right here in front of the black pack, and they fit perfectly right in this little I guess space. I've got a little space on either side that I like to keep some snacks in for the day or anything like that, but the black pack and the 2 batteries fit perfectly right here in the rear tank well of. I like to keep my paddles right here, one for easy access just in case there's anything that I need to do with it. If I need to make a quick move, just a little shift, occasionally I'll need to do that, maybe push something off or unhook a snag, anything like that. The last thing I've got on my list I need to show off is right back here. I've got the power pole micro anchor mounted right here on the back of the kayak. I can flip it from one side to the other if I ever needed to, or mount a second one if I ever felt the need. This is something I use all the time when I lived in Florida. It was huge for keeping me in place. Now that I live in South Carolina, I'm fishing deep water a lot more often. I don't use it quite as much, but when I do need it, it is an incredible tool to have. So I've always got that mounted just in case. Again, I'm the kind of person that as soon as I take something off of my kayak, I'm going to need it that day. So I probably take out more than I need to, but yeah, I always have everything that I might need. That saves me once in a while. All right, so that is it for my walkthrough of the Vibe Shearwater125, how I've got it rigged up. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. If you've got any suggestions, I always love to hear them. Other than that, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the water. See you next time.